Hello.
Hi, everyone.
We're back. I'm Casey Wilson.
Danielle Schneider. Welcome back to Bitch Sesh.
Guys, I'll tell you, we are inundated with engineers and audio professionals.
We have
The Nook is overrun by nerds.
Beautiful,
gorgeous nerds. No, actually very hipster.
Yeah, hipster. Nerd is a good thing now.
Yeah.
Like, we're the losers.
Oh, yeah.
In this bunch.
Look, we've had some technical difficulties. I think that's fair to say.
And we have been taken to task.
Jessica chastised for that.
Wow, Casey. Wow.
So sorry. I hate myself.
I know. And now we have all these tech wizards here. Maybe they can erase that from this podcast.
Well, the reason I was thinking of her is because I Instagrammed this, but my brother, I'm so excited, just had a baby this weekend.
Congratulations, Fletcher.
Yay! In the midst of all of it, we're waiting to see if the baby has come. My dad texts me, and I quote, "Chris Pine and Chastain are getting divorced."
Does he mean?
He means Anna Faris and Chris Pratt.
That's such a wrong.
And like, not the time. Like, your only son is having his first child. And I said, I think you've got some of the players wrong. He goes, no, I don't. Chastain and Chris. And then he admitted he got Chris Pine wrong.
But not Chastain?
No, he would. He goes, Chastain, look it up.
Could he pick Jessica Chastain out of a
lineup?
like,
think
not
so.
I think with a gun to his head, he couldn't.
It was just not the time. Okay, you guys, we had some technical difficulties. We heard you loud, and what we did hear, we didn't hear the podcast, but we did hear your feedback.
Yes, there was a lot of anger at us. Lots. Like, I have never. People were like, it's skipping.
You were engaging, and I wasn't.
I was engaging. I was, because I felt guilty. I want to give people who have given to us.
And look, I did too. And it was a tough week for technical difficulties, given what had happened in the news.
Given the huge breakup. So it was a tough week in general. So many hard things. And
when it rains, it pours.
So then we fixed the technical difficulties.
Not
fixing, but we basically edited it out, which edited the podcast down to about 27 minutes. and
we had done a lot. Of course, you guys, many questions about had we covered Mexico properly. Of course we had.
You think we would talk about New York and not fucking cover Mexico?
You think I didn't love when they had to pull a bathing suit on Sonia that wasn't hers?
I am a professional housewives talker.
Yes. When Bethany's flat ass jumped in the pool, you think I didn't comment?
Crying while drinking, while hugging, while naked? You don't think I'm going to make a meal of that shit?
When Sonia was drinking margarita out of a vase? I mean, these are the things we covered.
We live for. So to even accuse us of not covering it it felt wrong.
Now, guys, let's just take a second. And I really want to know where you were, Danielle, when you heard the news this week. Of course. Now, well, let me say for myself, okay. I heard from you, and that was, I was in the coffee bean. I was coming out of, I was recording a part on Family Guy, and I'm in the coffee bean about to go to the bathroom, and I looked down at my phone, and it's like everything went black. It's like, I don't even know what happened. I was so shocked, truly caught my breath. Now
you wrote back just illegible letters and symbols and numbers.
But it was nice to hear from you, like from a friend.
Yeah.
And who did you hear from, Danielle?
I had to get it from Twitter. Now, that was tough because
so sorry.
I don't know if I wanted Luann to call me or like if I just wanted it to be delivered by a dove. Like, I felt it needed to be presented to me in a way that I could handle.
Yeah.
I will say it was tweeted at me.
That's nice.
That
at least.
was nice. From a friend, from a podcast guest, from a journalist from BuzzFeed, a friend of the podcast, Jarrett Weisselman. I hope I'm saying his name right. He is a former guest and friend.
It's wonderful that he reached out to you.
He reached out immediately, and I was for his first basically tweet, which to me is basically a phone call, to me, I felt at least that was something. But to find out from not a friend, it was tough, you know.
And you had such great advice that day because you said immediately, and like people have different reactions to news like this, and when there's these events on such a large scale that happen to us.
Like the Challenger blowing up. Now, I know that was before a lot of our listeners' times. You guys are like the Challenger. What is that? That was a spaceship.
I'm struggling to recall it, but
it's a spaceship, space shuttle ship. When it was supposed to go.
I don't think you need to have such a laugh in your voice about it. It was a devastating event.
I'm laughing because I didn't know exactly,
Well, and that's what I'm talking about, Danielle. People laugh sometimes, they cry. Like everybody has such different reactions to things, but immediately you had such sage advice because, of course, Shira, Matt, Deanna, and I, everyone's a buzz.
God,
and you said we need to be kind to ourselves and each other in this time.
Yeah. And what did you do that day? Like, how did you treat yourself in a way that was respectful and also respected this mourning period?
I tried to take it easy, but life goes on, and that's what's hard.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm driving, but like, is everybody? Yeah. I'm just suddenly going through the motions of life.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's like you catch your breath in the middle. Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm in a bath. I'm taking care of my child. Stupid shit.
Yeah.
And then you remember something important, like
we heard from Andy on Twitter, which was really nice to touch down with him.
He asked how we were doing.
He also seemed slightly shook.
I hear that he found out the same way we did, which is just like on Twitter, like a pedestrian.
Do better. Get the word out.
Better. Let people know before you let the news know.
I will tell you, the tweets that we received, I heard more from people than from the skips on our show, from my wedding, from my child, from anything I've been a part of.
I have had family members pass, and I haven't heard from this many people. Like this was asking people came out of the woodwork. Are you okay, Danielle?
Someone
Where
wrote,
are you? Do I need to pick you up?
This is a hero, but God, what I wish I had his name.
Really great ones that I.
Someone said that the Regency needed to dim their lights to half.
And fly the flag at half mast.
I was on the floor laughing. The tweets, everyone was so concerned.
Said, listening to sunrise, sunset. Oh, this is from Alan Morse, who said, listening to sunrise, sunset today and reflecting on marriage. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I thought that was beautiful.
And then, since in the week that transpired, someone else got a photo of Lou checking into her flight to Geneva because she strangely went to Geneva to get some me time.
But here's my question to you. She has also gone back to De Lesseps.
Yes. Now, which a woman named Joni at What Joni wrote, Luann Manade is coming. Just to change her name.
Oh, this woman, Lindsay Brown wrote, I'll be sitting Shiva in a different statement necklace each day. How could they do this to me? ?
Yeah, and we heard where so many people were when they found out. And I want to actually bring our guest out.
Yeah.
And ask her where she was when she heard the news. And please welcome fan favorite, Leslie Grossman.
Hi, guys.
We had to bring you in this week, Leslie.
Immediately we called you and we were like, can you come on? Mm-hmm. Can you make a statement?
You're busy shooting American Horror Story. Yeah. And yet
I want to tell you
nothing is more horrifying.
Nothing's more important.
This is an American Horror Story.
You know what? It comes in waves. That's the hardest part, is that, you hear the news, you hear news like this, and it's a gut punch. Mm-hmm. It's a gut check and a gut punch. You think that you've accepted it, and then you kind of forget about it, and then it's like maybe a couple hours later, and then it's a wave again.
Yeah,
and you have to deal with it. Now, I found out because my best friend, Allie, texted me the link to the Page 6 story, and it was, I was aghast.
Were you with Ryan Murphy at the time?
No, I was alone.
How did Ryan Murphy react?
I mean, look, we were all
did
reeling.
Set close down that day?
Yeah, did Set close down?
There was
a lot of emails. Paulson ran off.
I know. By the way, Sarah Paulson did care. I can tell you that much.
I feel better.
Hardcore did talk about that. There were some emails that flew back and forth. Is it appropriate to continue with work? Mm-hmm. And then it was like, you know what?
She would want this.
She would want this.
She would want it. She got to keep going. So I found out, and I got to tell you, it was hard. And I, too, more people reached out to me, text, Twitter, Instagram, and then just direct emails to me.
Yeah.
Moms at my school who I didn't even know knew me were like, are you okay?
Yeah.
People came up to me at birthday parties.
Right?
A woman at Starbucks just put a hand on my shoulder.
Sure. And you knew. You knew.
Mm-hmm. You knew no words needed to be spoken. Sometimes comfort comes in the form of strangers touching
Sometimes
you.
that's the deepest connection. So it's been, I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's been tough. My daughter said to me, Mommy, what's wrong? What's wrong?
And children know. They know. We can try to say Mommy's fine.
You think they don't know. They pick up on everything.
You crying in the shower, and we can't hide it from them.
And I told her, you know what, sweetheart? I heard some really painful news. And if you see me crying, that's okay. It's okay to see mommy crying, and I'm going to be okay. But right now, I need to feel my feelings. So,
exactly. And I'll tell you also, there was this like Vanity Fair article that came out this week about Angelina Jolie and how she's crying in the shower because she doesn't want her kids to see her cry. And I was like, don't have time.
No.
Yes,
Dealing with something much greater right now.
But I want to tell you, when I saw you guys, it was a release. I felt
we needed to be together.
yes.
Yeah, we were like, we got to get Leslie because this is so
This is important. We can't just have any.
And you know who I immediately thought of? I really immediately thought of Bethany. And you know, do you remember in Miami?
Of course.
The shaky drink hand when Bethany told her about Tom, and it was the extreme shaky drink hand.
And I remember what she was wearing because, of course, April wears that caftan on our tour. the very one Bethany was wearing that day.
Can she wear it again? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But something
She's shaking her head no. She'll never wear that.
you know,
again.
there's out of pain, there's lessons, right?
Yeah.
And what's the lesson here? You always listen to motherfucking Bethany is the lesson. Excuse my French.
Really?
I feel that Bethany was right. Bethany is
Despite
pretty much
the fact that she's currently in a court trial for her own, in the wake of her own fallen marriage.
You know what, Casey? She needed to have Bryn. And Bryn needed to happen.
Bryn
Yeah.
was, yeah, you're right.
It was all about needing to get Bryn. Jason, unfortunately, was a necessary evil to get Bryn.
You're right.
Also, the judge, I don't know if you saw this just yesterday, has thrown out. He wanted the judge to throw out his stalking charges, and the judge said, no, Jason.
I did notice the judge also said he hadn't gotten the proper paperwork from Bethany yet. And I felt like, can you get the paperwork together? Well, that's just a sidebar.
That's a sidebar.
A lot of
So many feelings.
So many
There's
layers.
also feelings, and I'm sorry to go to, but when you said judge, it made me think. This week, a letter came out online, and it's dark as fuck, from Tamra Barney's daughter, Sydney.
Yes.
Sorry to bring your daughter
I
into
know.
this.
It's her. They have the same name, but different moms.
Yeah, and we'll get to that letter, but I do feel like there's a lot, and I don't know if this was the Tom and Luann of it all, but things have like stirred up. You know, like when with the lunar eclipse that's coming, like
A lot of things are up in the air, and we're gonna have to and then like the nuclear situation in North Korea. Like there's a lot.
Okay, I have to tell you guys something so fun. Well, there's nothing funny about the North Korea nuclear situation. But in all seriousness, Miss Deanna Chang, who has been a guest many times, we were, of course, a flywheel, and then we were getting coffee. And she said she's been tweeting our government. Okay. It's worth finding these tweets, but no one's favoriting them, not one person. Because they're so weird. And I'm like, is this a joke? And she's like, Casey, I need to get some like thoughts out. Okay, here's one of the tweets. And she will just send me a text says, tweeting the authorities again.
The authorities.
And they say simply, to whom it may concern, don't get cute with sanctions. We are taunting maniacs with missiles aimed at our heads, at FBI, at CIA, at Department of Defense. It has been favorited once.
By who?
Not by me. Hold on. Oh, by Matt McConaughey. But this was the kicker. So I said, wow, like, you know, she's like, I just have to do something. And of course I'm thinking she's nervous for all of our safety. She's like, these motherfuckers, like they're going to come for California. Like it's going to hit us first. And then she takes a long pause, stares off and goes, and I just really wanted everyone to see Heathers before. Now, Deanna Chang is a character on the upcoming Heathers like remake television show that's coming out. And Deanna wants everyone to get the chance to see it before
I agree with her.
the world
I'd
ends.
like to see Heathers. I'd like to see Heathers.
Well, look, we'd all love to see Heathers, but I do feel there's other things.
Yeah.
let me ask you a question.
I want to watch my child grow up, but I also want to see Heathers.
I did think about this genuinely. What if, because you know that we found out today that the reunion of New York is going to be in 3 parts.
Yeah.
Which makes me, the reunion's my favorite thing of all.
And they all look terrific, except for Tinsley.
It's better. The lighting is, well, there's a couple dresses that are
Everyone looks very tan.
very tan. But I was thinking, because when there's it's like the first 5 minutes of a fresh reunion, to me, I'm on a real high.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, if that is when the missiles landed, would that be so bad? You know what? I would go out doing what I loved. I would.
You mean just watching
a Housewives? Like if the missiles
and
landed.
Your daughter, would you want to be with her as well?
Is she in your lap or is she off playing with your husband?
You know what?
Where's your daughter in this?
She's
with the nanny?
Watching a YouTube video on slime in the other
she's
room.
doing what she loves.
She's doing what she loves.
Everyone's doing what they love and who they love.
Yeah. And I was thinking, you know what? If that's what it becomes, I'm okay with that.
Now, are you upset people won't see you on American Horror Story? Or you don't seem to have the same feelings Deanna does.
I'm more upset about dying in a nuclear war. I also want to say that if that does happen, I need to go in the first wave. I won't do well surviving after. So I just need to go right away.
Me too. I'm legally blind. I'll just have to stand where I am in my own filth and shit and piss.
I think I'm going to be okay because my husband's good in an emergency.
Oh.
But
My husband truly has never even put a light bulb in.
My husband's amazing. The only thing is, it'll be like The Amazing Race where you see a couple where like the wife is just like, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. I put diesel in the regular thing. Like that's what it's going to be. So I won't be happy, but I'll be alive. I'll be being yelled at by my husband.
I'll bring everyone else down
in an apocalyptic situation.
I just hope my husband saves himself. Just take my daughter, save yourselves. I did not know you were legally blind, Casey.
It's okay, guys. You know. So I actually recently just went to the eye doctor and I said to her, I'm like, listen, quickly, in an event of a nuclear attack, I said, I only have one pair of glasses. Should I get another one? Just like stash it somewhere? Or because my contacts are dailies, so you throw them out.
Oh.
I go, should I get some longer extended wear ones? And then she was laughing like I was joking.
Like, guess what? Dead serious.
Yeah, and I go, I just feel like the dailies. She goes, well, you're better off wearing the dailies because you can always get more. I'm thinking like, I don't know if I can always get more, lady. Like,
what are you going to do on the run? You're going to have the solution and you're going to be able to clean.
Like
But like,
back of a van.
Can you just keep them in? Like
No.
what's going
right,
to
but
happen
see,
during the
my eyes
apocalypse?
get dry by 4 p.m.
I know, but you
lady.
have some Bausch and Lomb handy. Like, can you just have like some like eye drops?
These are things I'm wondering. So I got another pair of glasses to try to stash.
Just for the
I
apocalypse?
think it's the right choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Guys, apocalypse brings me immediately back to Lou and Tom. And what I'm brought back to is a very special presentation we have.
Yeah. Now, months ago, Greg Bennett, who's a friend of the podcast, a hilarious
The only
guy.
person who's been on Housewives that we want to communicate with.
Yes.
And one of the funniest people
hilarious,
ever.
a joy to behold, came on the podcast live and did a presentation of a poem called "O Countess, My Countess," because that's his greatest love.
Was it an original from
Original
him?
poem.
Okay.
Original piece.
Because that is his ride or die, the Countess. And so in the wake of this news, of course, we had to turn to Greg and we just were like, how are you? How are you surviving? Like, are you sleeping? Is someone taking care of you? Is someone come by the house?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Can we get a meal train going?
just like, let's do something for this poor guy. And so he wanted to follow up his poem. And we want to play that with an update and a tribute to the Countess.
Great.
Hello, Casey. Hello, Danielle. Hello, fellow aliens. This is Greg Bennett, and I'm just trying to make sense of what happened last week when my ride or die made the announcement that her marriage was effectively over. And I find that in these times of loss and grief and reflection, that getting my thoughts out on the page really helps. And I've drafted this sequel to my original poem, O Countess, My Countess. And this is called O Countess, My Countess 2. 'Twas a week before the finale when old Countess tweeted her marriage to Tom was finally defeated. I dropped to my knees and asked God in heaven, how many months did it last? The answer was 7. But I guess I can't act shocked, betrayed, bewildered, or surprised. It was over before it began, from what we had all surmised. The whole cast was against it. They said that she was reckless, but old Countess ignored them while adjusting her statement necklace. But still, I thought, Lou's happy, for on the trip she had just stated that Tom was indeed her rose. She was beaming. She was elated. But Tommy loved Nurse Lou from Berlin, not the reality star. So he packed up all his bags and his beloved cookie jar. I sat a week in mourning, listened to many a breakup song, but realized a reprieve had been there all along. See, we're getting the greatest gift, a gift we all know well. The gift is single Lou. She's gonna give him hell. She'll hit the town and drink. At the Regency, she'll mingle. She'll take back her old title. She'll record a brand new single. So worry not, my dear Aileen's. Oh, Lou's just fine without Tom. Chic c'est la vie. C'est bon. C'est bon.
OMG, that was beautiful, Greg.
He is the poet laureate of the Bitch Sis podcast.
I wish every Housewives fan in the world, much like in Dead Poet Society, we could step up on our desks or our coffee tables, most likely.
Yes.
We're not at work. And just, in solidarity, oh, Countess, my Countess.
Oh, Countess, my Countess. People even just want to tweet it.
Yes.
But to hear that in the Nook, do you know what I mean? It was really special.
So special.
It was great.
Thank you, Greg. We're going to go to a commercial, but I did think we could send ourselves off with, you had this idea, Danielle, kind of a slowed down ballad version of Money Can't Buy You Class.
Money can't buy you class. Money can't buy you class. Elegance is learned, my friends. Elegance is learned. And we're back. We've all just been standing on the coffee table and saluting.
We're back. Shall we get into New York this week?
Yes.
Leslie, hit us.
Boring. God. The whole thing was a buildup, and I thought, oh, here we go. Like, okay, Tom is seeing, I can't believe I can't remember that woman's name. Melissa?
Missy.
Tom has seen Missy. I thought, okay, here we go. And then he says he's going to undo the mic, and Luann's going to catch it, and there's going to, no, nothing happened. Nothing happened except for Priv came and gave Tinsley a quinceañera curl. And nothing happened, and it was awful. There was the big drama was whether or not Sonia was going to even show up.
Who cares?
And as we were discussing, the Mexico, that should have been the end.
I don't understand why it wasn't.
They had been chasing this storyline that didn't really work about like Sonia and Tinsley, and they felt like they needed to end it on a party, but we ended on a party in Mexico.
We sure did, and on a high that I'm still feeling good about. Like
Agreed.
I'm still like I'm still a huge fan of
And
Luann.
I feel like they thought that moment between Missy, a horsier-faced gal, and Tom was kind of like this very dramatic thing with the mics.
Yeah.
And I do think you said it. He opened the door. It was weird.
Well, when he was like, he was, look, it's too flirty.
Yeah,
It's
but
very
everybody
weird.
knew he was a flirt. Like no one is like, what? Like it wasn't.
I didn't totally read the moment right. Were they joking too? They were joking with each other. When
They were
but it was a
joking.
flirtier. If my husband
Uh-uh.
had recently cheated on me and also had an affair recently with this woman, and then they were being flirty, I think I'd take a stand.
And then he's like, I got to turn my mic off. Ooh.
Yeah, it doesn't look
Look,
great,
it's
guys.
not great. And he's not a great guy, as we found out.
You know what? Have you noticed a big theme was whenever somebody would ask Tom how the wedding was, he just kept saying over and over again how hard Luann worked at the wedding.
Yeah.
It was all about like, is she really tried?
I never trust when a guy says, well, she wanted it to be this way, or this was her day.
Yes.
That shit makes me crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? It's you. Like, this is a party for us. Like,
It's not great.
I did love, Lou really doubled down on exactly what she tried to do with Tom. And I love her statement. I was on a mission to make this work, and I did. And it was so powerful.
it was, especially with reflection.
Yeah.
Because now that we have
I'm bummed though with the reunion that, the news hadn't hit when they filmed that reunion. And now they're trying to kind of retroactively refit it, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I'm going to need a sit down one-on-one with Tom and Ann. I mean, sorry,
Lou.
Ann.
I mean, I'd love it.
I
with
think
Tom.
that's a
love
Clubhouse
for Tom to come on.
one-on-one, don't
Yeah,
you think?
Andy, if you
And it's
hear us.
got to go after the third reunion.
Agreed. And there's time for this.
There's so much time.
She's going to be
all the
back
time,
from
though.
Geneva by then.
Not wearing her wedding dress,
Nope.
which
No.
we heard she's wearing on the reunion.
Oh,
Luann is wearing her wedding dress.
Now, look, we've all said, I'm going to refashion this wedding dress and wear it again. Like, we've
Like
all...
it's a cute blazer.
We've all said that. But then to do it on the reunion felt... I don't know. It felt strange. It was
That should have been her thorn for the reunion.
You guys, it really opened up a whole discussion for us about just with Ramona and Sonia, or Sonia, as Lou says. And now Lou's just, nothing will stop me from making this marriage happen. Of what's happening to these women of a certain age when they're single and that they lose their damn minds. And Luann lost herself. Yeah. She lost her mind. She lost herself. And I think she felt like because Tom was a bachelor, that it was like a big get, that she was the one that got him. And it's like, no.
Because he's a bachelor, it's like, what the fuck? Yeah. And he's like 60 years old and has not been in not even a long-term relationship, it seemed. Like, what's going on with this guy? He does not want to be in one.
And we were kind of positing that Dorinda's gone a totally different way. Yeah. And I'm not saying it's bad because we can all find ourselves in this position where, you know, your husband's passed or you've gotten divorced or whatever. So I don't begrudge any of these decisions truly, but Dorinda's like, I'll take a sweaty ass dry cleaner.
Yeah. That gives me, that steals dresses from his store and puts them on my body.
Yeah.
Well, they're having a great sex life.
I guess.
They are having the sweatiest sex that's ever existed on the planet.
He's
room, if you walk into a room after Dorinda and John have had sex,
musky.
Water is dripping from the walls. It's going to like Florida during August.
The wallpaper's just like, curling up.
The sheets.
Do you think he keeps a towel around his neck the entire time?
Yes, like he's
like
having
Craig Robinson, you know, he always got a sweat towel around him.
Yeah, he has to. He has to because otherwise she just slipped the fuck off of him. Like, it's just, she's got to hold on to something.
Yeah.
That's dry. Yeah. She needs dry land.
But you know what? She does seem happy.
She does.
I think, let me qualify that. She seems...
Wait, are they all divorced?
Wow.
All of them. None of them are married. We saw Mario in a flash tonight and we all got sad.
We all got sad because Mario was a handsome man. And I have been reading the Ramona Coaster this week.
What is that, her blog?
Her book.
What?
Does she go into the divorce in the Ramona Coaster?
Talks a lot about it. I just wanted to touch down on it this week. And so I found myself...
like some books like Franny and Zoe. I read every few years.
You got to go back to it. You got to go back to the text. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to go back and read To Kill a Mockingbird. You got to go back to
Gadsby.
Yeah, these
Ramona
are the classics.
Coaster.
So the Ramona Coaster, I sat myself in an arts deli.
Good for you.
Had my...
You know what? This is the kind of self-care that we all need to be doing.
Well, this is what I needed to do this week for me. Mm-hmm. I said I wanted to take care of myself, and I did. And she was talking about the marriage to Mario and the dissolution of that marriage, and it was very sad to hear her describe it in that book. Like, she was blindsided.
It's horrible, and we all felt, I think we can agree tonight, for the first time ever, you said it first, Danielle, I actually had empathy for Ramona. Yes. I felt for her.
At the bar, talking to Bethany, and she said, you know what? And because... it was so real.
It was so real. She said, and it was so soft. We didn't hear it at first. We had to rewind. She said, you know what? And then she like pulled Bethany close. I can't even do it. It was so touching.
All were silent.
She said, I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Oh. And she said, I just want companionship. Yeah. I just want someone to be with.
And don't we all?
Bethany gave her a soft landing on that one.
She did.
I'm surprised she wasn't like, yeah, we told you weren't fucking happy, bitch. She's like, this insult brought to you by Skinny Girl. Yeah.
She slides off on her Skinny Bird snowboard. Just like into the wilderness.
Oh my God, she did. She was kind and she really listened. Yeah. And she said, I think it's going to happen for you. Yeah.
I thought she gave great advice. She was actually self-deprecating about her own stuff. Yes. And said, you have a triumph. Like, you did have a long marriage.
She did.
Yeah, and she admitted to her own weakness, which was like, and also like, look, I know business and my business keeps getting better. You know relationships. You know how to do this. That will come to you. And I thought that was like, oh, wow, that's a really lovely way.
I feel like if we're going back and connecting dots, that there was a moment when Ramona put together that Tinsley was with this guy who's nice and normal teddy bear.
Who seemed nice. Yeah. Like it felt like that could happen. That could be real.
And she like took that in a way that was like, huh.
Yeah.
That was tough to watch.
And then Sonia rubbed a Bergdorf's gift certificate on her vagina.
Yeah.
That was the way she dealt with it.
Sonia's so disgusting. To say in her weird ass scenes with Frenchie that the dog licked her underwear again.
No.
Guys, I do such a 180 on Ramona every minute she's in a scene. Like, I'm like, she's gorgeous. And then I'm like,
Sonia.
she's a monster. Yeah, Sonia.
Sonia.
Did I not say Sonia?
Sonia.
Sorry. What did I say?
Ramona.
Sorry,
Same
guys.
diff.
Your
it's
head's
fine.
in the Ramona coaster.
I'm on the Ramona
Yeah.
coaster. I'm not off of it yet. But she can be gorgeous and elegant in 1 minute and then just a mess of vagina juice and like Bergdorf's gift certificates.
Vagina juice and interns.
Yeah, just like
When she showed up at the party and said casually to someone, this made me die laughing, of Frenchie, she goes, he tossed me like a salad.
Yeah.
I would like to imagine, and I wish I could capture on film the moment when she and Frenchie's parents meet.
On 35 millimeter.
35 millimeter. Like, this needs to be like on restored film.
Martin
like,
Scorsese will put this in
yes.
AFI.
And widescreen, you know, like no joke.
Yeah.
Do you think that his parents are 15 years younger than Sonia or 10 years younger than Sonia?
It could be more.
Yeah. And
But it was horrible that she says she brought her daughter. Oh. I feel like we're in for possibly another Sydney posting about
Yeah.
Sonia in maybe 5 years.
oh, yeah.
It's tough.
I think that is rough. I think she's a joy, but I don't think that I think she's sometimes just mentally unwell.
You said this color on Sonia, the storyline of her being, saying Tinsley's ungrateful has just not been a good color on her. At the bar when she's like, I don't want this liquor. It's too sweet and it's warm. And then she's like, it's bar liquor. It's
Yeah.
just,
She's
it's
like,
not.
I can't just drink anything. It's like, all right, Sonia.
She shows her spoiled little brat Morgan self sometimes.
yeah, and it's not great. Like, she needs to stay in her place because she's so loopy and she's so crazy and she has a lot of unhealthy qualities that any sort of meanness isn't going to sit well.
Also, didn't she meet her husband because she was a hostess at a restaurant?
I mean,
I know that she was a hostess. So maybe we need to dial it down on complaining about the bar liquor.
Yes.
Let's take it down a couple notches, Sonia. It's just what becomes of Sonia. I can see what becomes of Ramona. I think Ramona's going to meet a nice guy. I think she seems to have a very good relationship with her daughter.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to continue to be close. And I think that Ramona is going to meet a nice guy who's like, you know what? She's a little cuckoo, but she brings fun into my life. Maybe he's a widower. Do you know what I mean? And he
Yes.
needs a little fun.
Sonia is going to be wandering the streets of Vero Beach,
Yeah.
Florida, just going Stad, JFK Jr.
See at the end, and I think we've said this at the end of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane when
yeah.
Betty Davis is on the beach
Yeah.
with an ice cream cone before she's arrested and taken off to the sanitarium. And she's like, I've written a letter to Daddy and dancing about. And that's Sonia.
There you go.
Yeah.
And whenever they show her house, I can't help it. Do you know when you go in somewhere and there's dust on everything?
Oh, for sure.
And you get that feeling on your hands and in the back of your throat? That's how I feel about her and the house. And she's going to lose that house. And also, have you seen that house in person? You know that it's directly next to a 24-hour parking garage.
What?
It shares
I've
a
seen
wall.
that in a wider shot.
It is devastating. And
Really?
yeah, it's tough. The whole thing is tough.
And-
Remember when she reached into the toilet and pulled her phone right out? Remember? That's what goes on at that house.
Nothing works in that house.
Nope.
Nothing.
And also, they ended the scene of her house again after she said that her dog was licking her underwear. They showed that dog. And
Ugh.
it's one of those white poodle dogs. Now, I'm someone who has had a rescue black poodle, so I'm no stranger to this, but it does make me sick
Yeah.
when I see white poodle dogs
Yes.
and their mangy little
Yeah.
mutt mouth
And the
is
tear
black.
and the
think
dark
half-
tear
No, it's
marks.
stained.
I think half of that poodle's diet is just vagina droppings.
He is slurping up so much of her disgusting vagina juices.
You know what she does?
Morning, noon, and night.
I mean,
He's on a
full
diet.
diet of it. I feel like there is not food in that
And then
bowl on the
for
regular.
dessert, he's crunching on her crowns and her teeth.
boy.
Whatever teeth are laying
Yeah,
around.
like it is not a healthy situation there for any animal.
Like that
or
dog
human.
has
They
rickets.
should call.
ASPCA directly.
Oh, boy.
They are just going to find that dog has chlamydia of the mouth. It's just going to be.
I feel like that dog has possibly gone down on her as well.
Yes, and you know what she does?
No,
She goes,
yes,
okay.
no
She goes,
joke.
all right, whatever.
She's like, ah!
She's like, Tootsies.
She's like, Ben, or whatever intern. She's like, he's going at me again. And it's like, this, my son, and I hate to bring him into this, but my son's a teacher at a
It is a weird segue.
Yeah.
I hate to bring it.
My son's teacher said once, what children get, they come to expect and then to need.
Whoa.
And I think that's the truth with Sonia's dog. He's gotten the vagina juices and then he needs it.
Yeah,
now
he's
he seems like rabid for it.
Yeah, he's on it. He needs to be weaned.
Oh my God. And you know what? Frenchie doesn't judge. Frenchie's
No.
like, it's what it is.
He's like, I'm French.
What's his last name again?
Who knows?
It's vaudeville.
Oh, that was right. Sonia Vaudeville. Oh, that's a stage name we're definitely going to hear in the near future.
And it wasn't really highlighted, but Bethany and Sonia had kind of a nice moment, I guess. But I don't know why. Bethany just hates Tinsley, and it's rude. But she was like, Sonia, you did really well. Like, you never sold her out. And Sonia's nodding, and I'm thinking, like, they're really, like, speaking eye to eye. And then all of a sudden, Sonia's like, we didn't go deep. I didn't fart in front of her. I'm not going to sit on the toilet in front of her. It's like,
as if that's a gift.
No, what?
That I'm not going to give her. I'm not going to give her the gift of smelling my turds.
Sonia's just so gross.
That's not what
You
friendship is.
touched down on a moment which I thought was interesting, where they start to reveal that basically, like, Tinsley's an alcoholic. They think they basically said that was tough stuff.
Kind of
8 in the
thrown
morning,
away.
she's drinking, but no one talked anything about Dorinda having a drinking problem. Like they don't. No one says anything about Dorinda, but Tinsley is.
I almost wonder if it's because on the reunion last year or the year before, Dorinda's already been called out for cocaine, if that's what's going on. So people have already called her out in their minds.
Yeah, so they've already said
Because she seems so affected when she gets into her clip phase. You were saying Dorinda's catchphrases.
Well, I think the problem is the catchphrases have to be very organic.
Yes.
And I do think that she's running things by Hannah. I think she's trying to come up with some options, and I think she's pulling them out when she needs. I
actually thought that they were organic catchphraends, but then she gets excited
she
about
exploits
them.
them too much.
Exploits them,
but
and
I got to
bothers
tell you, we talked about this. This was really a end
Yes.
of the season. But they really, I hate this term, but it's the only term I can use. They blew their wad. That opening episode where she, the not well bitch, and then it was to Candace Bushnell is who she was saying it to. It was so great. And then when she, like that episode where she just went in on Sonia and it didn't end. It went through the whole, it started at cocktails, it went through the whole dinner.
God, I'm even forgetting this.
Oh,
it's
it
all
was
running together if anyone can imagine.
Remember, it was at Ramona's house in the Hamptons, and she just went after her. And I feel like the season started off with a real bang, guys. Tinsley, there was a lot of mugshot talk and arrest talk, and then there was just nothing else to Tinsley except for that she won't give up the hair and the lashes.
Yeah.
And I just really, Mexico, we ramped it up. We got better in Mexico, and then it really fizzled out. I need the reunion to bring it, and I think you made a great point where we've got to tack on a one-on-one with Lou, and hopefully a satellite maybe with Tom, like we got with. Remember
Tom, from live from the Regency.
Maybe live
Tom just like turns over his shoulder at a bar.
Andy?
He's like, I didn't see you there, Andy.
Look, he managed to lock down Brooks. He got Brooks to sit down for
Brooks
a while.
Myers.
Brooks Myers.
You mean Girth Brooks?
Guys, missing Brooks's energy.
I miss Brooks's energy, and maybe we should talk about OC since we've made a transition to it.
Take a quick break and we'll come right back.
Great.
Guys, here we are, back with OC.
It always ends. Begins and ends.
A trusted fan tweeted
that
they got nothing.
Yeah. They said to parrot what Casey said about New York, but was wrong about.
And I accept that.
But that OC's got nothing. It started off at the Quiet Woman, and that was a real ride.
That was crazy when
amazing.
Shannon threw a plate across the table.
Said, it's
Guys.
not my fucking plate! Come on.
You guys, when Shannon sees Kelly Dodd, and Kelly Dodd is so wasted drunk.
Yes.
She sees Kelly Dodd in the bathroom, and immediately this person she does not trust and hates, and she's like, I went to my trainer today, and it turns out I'm 70 pounds overweight. And she starts telling her all, and I was like, don't give her this ammunition about herself.
She can't help herself.
She can't help it. And I've been there. Like, if I gain weight, I'm like telling every barista, I'm like, I don't normally look like this, even though it's been like 5 years.
But
I feel her.
But really, and then the confrontation and read between the lines, and it's not my plate. And then And then at the end, when I won't even commit her name to memory because Peggy's gonna be gone so quickly.
Ouch.
She's such a terrible, obviously awful. It's like the only reason she got that job is because somebody saw her half black, half white car, and they were like, "She's in. That car's ridiculous."
Someone saw that garage, and they're like, "Okay,
done." And when her and Peg, what's the other one? Rainbow Sparkles.
Oh, Lydia.
Lydia. When they're talking, and the camera just pans up to Kelly blowing, with her mouth on the window, making those faces. I mean, that was so. I levitated
beautiful.
off my couch, and I'd look, and after that, it's a bunch of. It's a bunch of
nonsense. We had to watch. I've never been so bored watching a woman talk to her husband about cutting off his balls.
I mean,
than I was, and I wanted to be like, aren't they already gone?
Did you guys notice at the party, whatever this fucking party was, that Deco and Peggy threw?
Deco and Peggy and their stupid Lamborghini party. And at one point he says to her, he goes, "This is not a dealership party. This is," what does he say? I even have the quote. It's like, "This is not the dealership party. This is the," I'm sorry, guys.
I'd like to hear every run at this.
This is not just a BS event that the dealership is having. This is the unveiling of the Aventador S.
Okay.
What the fuck? Okay, Mark DJ Moose Motor tweeted me and said, "Theory. Peggy from OC and her husband will be revealed to be the same person at the end of this season."
That holds a lot of water.
It does, because Deco and their kids, have you ever seen such normal kids on a show?
No.
I find them to be lovely and normal
Yes. Yeah,
and
they
great.
are.
And then you've got Peggy and Deco. Peggy with that rat's nest. And then when she offered to tease up Deco's hair.
Yeah.
I'm like, Peggy, no.
We did get to.
Deco also had those metal collars on his fancy shirt. Did anyone
When
see?
Deco pulled his suit off with a hook in his, and was like, "Which of the most terrible outfits you've ever seen should I choose between to wear?" Peggy's like, "He's always asking for my help." I was like, we're in a weird place with Peggy and Deco.
Yeah, and also
We're in the sunken place, honestly.
Oh, we're in the sunken place with them.
Yeah,
It's so
it
true.
feels very weird in alternate universe.
I mean, she did, I did love at The Quiet Woman when Peggy, for no reason, was just like, "The Brussels sprouts are great." That was great.
I
Good
love
for
it
her.
2 weeks ago. She was like, "My husband beats me every Friday. That's a joke." I was like, yes.
But,
it's a very offensive accent for Peggy, but
yeah,
continue.
it's okay.
Please
But
continue.
things took a real hardcore turn where Ryan, Tamra's son, and I don't mean to go off Deco and Peggy if we want to keep going
please,
there.
Ryan. We'll always talk about
Okay,
Ryan.
first of all, Ryan, you guys, he's 87 years old. Ryan went, and when they showed that flashback of him, it was like, what happened? They want to talk about the sunken place. Ryan has aged 78 years. I'm shocked he's still with that woman.
Well, because he
Shocked
married
he's
a woman that
still
has
alive.
4 kids.
and they have a terrible marriage, and he's trapped, and he seems like he actually really does want to do the right thing by his daughter, and he seems like an involved dad, and he wants to try to keep it. It's a disaster. But that conversation with Tamra and Ryan was so horrific, and I felt so badly for Ryan. And then this news comes out because obviously this triggered Sydney, Tamra's daughter, because they're talking about Sydney and they're saying how great it was when they saw each other.
Not my Sydney.
Not your Sydney. And then Casey and Danielle, if you would like to take it away, what happened?
Well, basically, and this was sent to us, Sydney posted something on Facebook, Tamra's daughter, kind of saying, "Hey, I don't like the spotlight," and she seems incredibly lucid, very smart, and she said,
down to earth. I don't
Yes.
want to be involved in this.
"I don't want to be involved with the show."
Yes, and she has every right to
And
say
I've
that.
asked my mother not to bring me up on the show and not to, I've asked her to preserve our relationship. Do not do this.
Do not bring me up, and do not post anything social media wise about me. And then, if we all remember, and we were applauding this when it happened, Tamra posted a photo of her and Sydney at her graduation. And Sydney basically, I think that was, it seems from, what do we know, but from this missive that she wrote, that was the final straw. She made it clear that Tamra did not try to Simon wasn't trying to make Sydney choose sides.
Yeah.
That this was all kind of Tamra's craziness.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Tamra should have quit the show.
I think, well, look,
Or just respected her wishes. It's like, be on the show, but leave me out of it.
You guys.
Was that or no?
if you cut
I love how you're
Tamra.
like, there's no option that these women could have ever
no.
dropped the show for their
No,
families.
For me,
If
no.
you-
She wasn't speaking to her daughter, Danielle.
cut Tamra from her sternum to her abdomen and opened her up, goblins would fly out. She is made of garbage. I mean, it would just be old RC Cola cans and some dirty rags.
It's a terrific soda.
This is it
And
is.
like rusted, you know those camper chairs that you would drag to the beach?
And if you got cut, immediate tetanus.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, she
and also like just lots of like carb drinks, like like what are those like protein drinks.
she is holding on to this show with sharp talons just in this show. And truly, I think she's like, if that means I got to throw Sydney under the bus to get a couple storylines and to get the camera on me, well, then so be it. Because Mama's got to keep that money coming. Cut Fitness isn't going to pay for itself.
That white Range Rover doesn't
That-
buy itself.
And that
No.
Cut Fitness ain't bringing in the bucks.
It's
or
always
the people.
empty. No, but I do think she made a choice. And when I read that Facebook post, I was like, maybe Simon's normal. And then when Ryan said, he was right. When Ryan said about Simon, he was an asshole, but he was
gonna
right.
stop you there.
No, but Simon was horrible. He did say terrible things.
Let's not rewrite history.
Good point. Good point.
He also
Okay.
said something really damaging, which we talked about last week, which is he got all of the kids' names tattooed on him except for
That was
Ryan's.
terrible.
And that is as a child.
But of
to
course,
hear
they're
that.
both terrible.
Yeah,
like
look, neither of
getting
them
those
is
like ring tattoos
Oof.
that were like white.
Terrible.
Am I wrong about that? They were like white tattoos.
They were gone with
You
it.
have a white tattoo. Just
Pack it in.
pack it in.
I think they were that. I mean, I have to say, I think about that scene in the limo with Tamra and Simon where she just goes,
course.
fuck you, I want a divorce.
Yes.
I think about that every once in a while. It is shocking. I think that happened like almost like maybe a week after she got the ring tattoo.
It did, and
Yeah.
that is burned in my brain too. There's a lot. There's two. We've talked about this before, but there could be like a limo chronicles because that scene I remember. Never forget Kim Richards.
You
and
stole
that,
my house.
What did she say?
That one, but I was
You're
of
something
course,
and alcoholic. I remember she didn't say you're an alcoholic. You're alcoholic.
Everyone knows you're alcoholic,
Yeah.
Kim. And talk about skips. I wish the audio was fixed on that one. Like there's skips on Bravo that don't get as much like
know.
flack that ours have. But then that scene with Kim Richards and that druggy boyfriend on. When
He looked like a gargoyle.
She was looking for trash in the car.
Remember?
Yes.
And then, of course, the scene with Kelsey Grammer and
And when he's like, well, she's like, I'm just glad we could celebrate this night. And he's like, yes. And she's like, and I'm just glad that we're married. And he was like, yes, these are all things. just like so dark. And
Tough
also
scenes.
another limo scene of Lisa Rinna and Kim Richards.
oh, that was the best one.
Good point.
Remember when she was so out of it?
Good point.
Headed to, I
To
wanted to
poker
say
night.
bingo night, but it
Eileen.
might
It was
as well.
poker night, and that was a
Poker night.
wonderful poker night. That was great. Where Kim and Brandy got physical. God, that was a great
And
night.
then at the end, Kim's just like, my pizza.
Guys,
Now, at the end of this week's episode, I don't know. We're so divided. I think it's going to be difficult to watch this whole season without Tamra and Vicky as friends. For me,
Yeah.
like the fun of it's gone.
I agree. But Vicky fills me with endless sadness when she was like, "We're the popular girls. We're the popular girls, and they're mad because they're not popular." Vicky, what's happened? And the hole is so big. It's so large and huge.
Some people can't get over a pain.
Yeah.
That like at some point she was not quote unquote popular, and
she
that
was,
has
like, 15.
stayed with her in
Yeah.
a way that
First
I've
season,
never seen.
go
it.
back to first season when she says, I've had all these surgeries. I want to change my face. Like
Yeah.
it goes so deep with Vicky.
She goes to the reunion. Remember, she's one of those people that's really amped to go to her reunion. I don't know if you remember that because that haunted me.
I do.
Yeah, it wasn't
Who do
great.
you think we are?
I know.
Never
you know
forgotten
what?
it.
You're-
I have an image of her driving down the car in Kodo and saying all this. And they showed Don, and he was like, I think she looks great.
Oh.
And it was so sad.
Don, he made an appearance too.
Yeah,
They
I
showed
miss
him in a
Dawn every
flashback.
day.
I do
I
too.
miss Dawn
Me too.
every
Do you think he and Brianna
day.
still speak?
Yes,
I think
I
so.
do. I think she loved him, and I think he loved her, and he
He's a
helped
great
raise
man.
her.
By the way, I'm worried about where's Brianna's husband. Why is he gone for
What's
so
he
long?
doing in
Something
Oklahoma?
funky's happening.
And I know we're waiting for some type of a court martial or
something fucking weird. And why is he
I feel like
literally
he's in that storm shelter
Yes.
below the house.
But she has two very young
Vicky's
boys.
white couch, just be like nobody touch it.
Yeah, I mean, but she needs help. help. Where is he? By the way, if you think I've forgotten what he did to Lydia's mother, I haven't.
All we talk about, Leslie.
I haven't. He spoke to, by the way, what about how hot Lydia's dad
Oh, yes.
is
He's
and
Peter
was?
Gallagher. He's
Yeah.
Peter Gallagher.
Gorgeous.
By the way, her son Sterling, Stirling.
I know. It's horrible.
Love it.
Also,
It made me feel better that it's a family name.
Yeah,
oh,
okay.
okay, I didn't realize.
Still.
Her dad is Sterling.
Oh,
Still,
I don't,
but Stir.
I don't
It's
think
tough.
I didn't see that. I hate Meghan King Edmonds.
Oh, boy.
And Jim is the worst. He's the meanest and he's the worst. But I'm starting to like him more because he says the meanest things to her. And
Yeah.
I don't think a husband should say this to a wife.
Megan more than, of course, Jim.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. We could all hate her till the cows come home, but Jim hates her enough for all of us. Sure. And Jim said to her, she said, "Oh, wow, there's so many people here." And he's like, well, she goes, "It's really crowded." And he goes, "That's what happens when you throw a party."
He hates her so much.
He
Oh,
really.
he hates her. Imagine if your husband said that to
And
you.
he's so rude. Everyone's like, "Congrats on being father." He's like, "I've been a father. Like, I didn't want this. Like, she wanted this." He's like, "She does everything." He's
That
the
stuff,
worst.
He's the worst.
Nothing.
But he's so mean to her, and I hate her. So it sort of makes him the best.
What is that hat she wears? Hashtag mom life. What is it?
I
Hashtag
hate all of
mom
her
something
hashtag
with her
hats.
horrible
I
merch.
did appreciate when Peggy just took her lips and
Yes.
shut them together.
That was fabulous.
He's like, "Shut!" And Megan was like, "Like she didn't know what to do with
it
herself."
was you know what it was? It was terrific.
Oh, okay. Last thing I want to say is at that car show, did you guys notice Vicky must have gotten there late because
Yeah.
Vicky's the only one that could introduce all these people. And she kind of rushed up and she looked crazed. So all we had was Peggy, Lydia, and Meghan King. They clearly don't know each other. Bravo never pulls this. It's always like, "Oh, this is my friend. You should meet my friend."
Yes.
Like, we're all just friends. And she goes, hello.
Yeah.
And they like don't know what to do.
It
And
was
then you
weird.
see Vicky like sprinting through the crowd, like trying to be the glue, but like Vicky had an
They've
insurance
got
deadline.
a real line of doozy nobodies, like just a real bunch of clowns.
Because I was saying about Carol in New York, like if Carol hadn't been married to a Kennedy, she would have been gone.
Oh, forever ago.
Even because she brings nothing but like saying she caught a fish, and that's a lie.
And also Michael Jackson cosplay, like she did in this last episode.
you said she
was
doubled
tough.
down on the beat it look.
She did the red jacket, and then she did the black leather zipper pants.
And I
then
said-
what? Yes.
I loved it.
But the gold MC Hammer harem pants, what's happening? What happened? Also, get rid of that goddamn couch. Just get rid of it. I can smell it through the TV.
And I think Carol's so chic, but her apartment's giving me Sonia vibes.
Yeah,
It's getting
her
real
apartment's
ragtag.
crowded to me. I don't love those
All those
stairwells that I
animals.
feel like a child or an animal could slip through.
Terrifying.
Ooh, and watching her cuddle those cats makes me physically ill. And then Betty,
everybody's
it's like
named
it's
Baby,
musky
and they-
in here.
Yeah.
I just can't.
And by the way, it smells like cat pee up in
But I
there.
will say I'd rather watch Carol a million times over than like 4 of the people we have on OC.
They're the worst. And then like they bring out this stupid fucking car. You know how I feel about cars, but I was like, stupid fucking yellow Lamborghini. And Vicky just said it perfectly. She goes, "It's a car. It's yellow." It's like, exactly, Vicky.
Exactly, Vicky.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's nothing. I can't believe we're wasting our time.
But where's Shannon? Where's Kelly? Where's the drama? Bring them
Agreed.
together.
What's gonna and are David and Shannon cool now?
No.
Are you joking?
I'm saying, are we gonna get because to me that marriage is over. That
Yeah.
marriage died 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it died about 3 years
It had
ago.
like you know how like there was a show a while ago called Torchwood where like someone could come back for 10 minutes
Yeah.
and be like
Yeah.
talk about their life. Like that's what they had last season. It was like 10 minutes of
Yes.
like and then it's fully dead now.
I also do feel, I mean, David has this look anyway, and I think because he's now been so forced into this relationship, he's going to kill her. He is. The eyes, he's going to smother her with a pillow in the middle of the night. Right?
And put her in like one of the girls' lacrosse bags. Dismembered.
And be like, girls, it's for the best.
Yeah.
and
anyway,
then wait when
And then we'll see him actually smile like a real smile.
Yeah.
and this is going to sound really snotty to me, and maybe just because I don't know what this is, but when Deco and
Deco. You just want to say Deco.
just when Deco and Deco,
I like Tico.
what?
And I know, and I heard they're like major Trump supporters.
Oh, they're the worst. But when
course
Tico
they
and
are.
Patty were like, "You got into college. We're so excited." And then they were like, she got into the Lavatory Institute of Merchandising. I was like, what the fuck is that? and again, I don't know Fashion
Peggy's daughter
Institute.
seems so lovely. Like her one daughter's like wrapping her arms around her mom. Like when Peggy was crying, they come down the stairs. Peggy does not look at them.
No.
She's like, hello.
And every time she sees her son, she's like, no ball in the house.
And by the way,
I cannot watch this scene again.
but that house is a cliche
It's
of
so
a joke of
ugly.
that Tuscan villa
Yes.
OC. It is art directed within an inch of its life. It's not real. It's like out of a Todd Haynes movie about desperate suburbia.
When we used to film Hot Wives, we would go up to a place in Santa Clarita
Yes.
that had been decimated by the
08 crash.
Yeah, by the crash.
Oh, perfect.
And there were these houses that looked exactly like that, like half finished.
Yep.
But just like cheap,
Horrible.
like
Just foreclosed.
just foreclosed, and just like empty lots and like squirrels running through them, and that's
Just
what we
like
filmed,
broken
but-
Tuscan marble on the island.
and just like a little a little plaque that would like kitchens are for cooking and for gossip, like just dark, and that's what their house reminds me of.
100%. Yep.
minus the warmth of that like
Yeah.
folksy sign.
Yeah.
Guys, anything else? I mean,
I just want to say, let's be honest. This is a time of healing.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be okay. But again, to be kind to yourself, to be gentle for yourself. If you need to go read the Ramona Coaster over a bowl of split pea soup at a deli, if you need a massage, if you need to just call your friends and cry, whatever you need to do to get over this with Luann.
and I think don't be afraid to ask for help.
Don't be afraid to ask for
reach
help.
out.
Look, I'm a little bit holding my breath until she's back from Switzerland.
Yeah.
When she's back, I feel like this is when we're really going to have to face stuff. But
I don't mean to quote myself, but sometimes when something happens, you just, your first reaction is the best reaction. And I said it last week and I am going to say it again, which is like, look, we're not shocked, but we are Americans. And I don't know
That's
what
so
that
true.
means.
That's so true.
But
whatever
to me, it means something.
yeah, I don't know what it means, but it's so true, Casey.
Yeah. Thanks, Danielle.
And I just want to
Leslie.
thank you. Everybody watch American Horror Story
Cult. I'm starting
so
on September 5th.
So
I'm not in the
excited.
first episode. I come in the second.
Nobody
episode.
watched the first. Only the
No,
second.
watch
No,
this first.
I'm so excited
But
for this.
I want to thank you guys for letting me mourn next to you, with you,
In our bosoms.
in your bosoms, in the nook. I needed this. And you know what? I feel better. I do. I
do
feel
too.
better. I'm in a different place than I was when I walked in the door.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Greg Bennett, for your
Greg
beautiful,
Bennett.
Thank
you know
you.
what? You know what?
poetry.
I think he needs to post it so we can print it out on our own and get it framed.
And he's in Europe right now. I believe he sent that from Europe.
Europe. Maybe he could cross
He's
paths
the very
with
best
Lou.
we have.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's
That
not
was
better.
inspiring. Thank you to Earwolf. They've sent us technical
Yeah.
support.
So as this episode will not skip, it will not
you know
jump.
what? And it probably will, but we're doing our best over here. Thank you, April Mouton.
Yes.
She's back.
And thank you guys. Yes, thank you for coming back, April. I thought you might never come. But we love you all. Take care of yourselves.
Goodbye. Signing off.
How many men there are that forget to hold the door when we give them so much more than they can imagine.
Money rich and manners poor. Never got the boys too far. Money talks, but I just walk when I can't stand it.
You know what they say? Money can't buy you class.
James Bonding is back. I'm Matt Gorley.
And I'm Matt Myra. We are officially back with weekly episodes of the James Bonding podcast exclusively on Earwolf.
We'll be tackling all of the movies, official and unofficial, and a whole lot in between.
That's right. You might want us to talk about James Bond Jr. Stop asking. We might.
We won't, but we'll talk about a lot of other things. Why should you trust us?
Because we're James Bond lovers.
Not experts.
Subscribe now.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Aukerman, Chris Bannon, and Colin Anderson. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.